Okay, good morning, everyone. So, welcome to the network management course or computer network course for today. So, today we will discuss and I will explain about the concept of the network management. Before I start, I would like to give you some information that I already update the several uh, material, video, and PowerPoint that you can access through to the ELOC UKMACID or to the website of SKC Lab. So please access the material. And today we will discuss more about the network management topics. That this is one of the important part of the computer network session. That the focus of the network management is how we can manage our network activity in the good manners monitoring, and also we try to analyze and detect some activity that may be occur in the future that make the network have a problem, or another things that make no, computer network doesn't work well. So we have a two part. The first is about the core concept of the network management, and the second is about the technical things about the network management. So in the first part, I would like to give you some explanation about the what is the network monitoring first, and then what is different between the network management, how we get to start the network management, and then why we need the network management, and also the consolidating the data for support the network management activities. Uh, okay, let's start. So the term of the network management and the network monitoring actually has become a familiar and very easy to listen into in the network or in the security things. Yeah. Last time we has discussed about the routing theory, yeah, and then I has already shared to you about the several the routing algorithm. That is one of the core of the network management and network monitoring tools. Yeah. So based on the routing, actually we try to capture the what happened when the routing is implemented in the computer network. So yeah, this is will be a very important part that we need to understand how we manage uh, our networks. So the main purpose of network monitoring actually is to monitoring an active communication network in order to diagnose problems, gather statistics for administration, and fine tuning. So this is the first definition about the network monitoring. Yeah, this is try to capture the traffic that occur from the active communication in the networks. For example, it's like internet traffic, communication traffic, video on demand traffic, and also the access traffic into the server. And then we try to diagnose the problem that occur in the middle of the net communication, that maybe came from the inside the network or maybe outside of the network. And then we gather the diagnosis into the statistic things, yeah, and then based on that statistic we will try to do the administration and fine tuning. The administration and fine tuning is like we try to manage our network into some simple management case, and then fine tuning is about to increase the performance of the networks. And also we have another definition about the network monitoring. This is from the Wikipedia, for example. Yeah, the term of network monitoring is describe the use of system that constantly monitor a computer network for slow or failing component, and that notify the network administrator in case of outage, maybe via email, pagers, or other alarms. This is involved in the network management. So this is like in this definition, the network monitoring is plays a subset of the network management. So the network management will be more wide or big definition, and then the network monitoring is one of the component on it. Yeah. So that's the first definition of about monitoring. And then we also have the network management. Yeah, this is the network management. We have a more wide view or wide perspective of the how we measure the network monitoring things. Using the network monitoring that we have discussed in the previous slide, we want to enhance into three main issue. The first is about security. Yeah, so the network management have a three duties. The first duties is security. It is the ensuring that the network is protected from unauthorized users. Yeah, so that is will be our duty as a network administrator. For example, when we do some network management, is we want to protect our asset inside the network from the unauthorized users. And the second is performance. Yeah, we try to figure out what is the bottleneck in the network that makes some problem occurs in the network. For example, the internet access became problem, so we need to see the bottleneck. This is from the in the router side, or maybe in the server side, or maybe in the user side, and then we try to eliminate the bottlenecks. And then, of course, the most important one is to ensure the network is available to user, responding to hardware and software malfunction, that we call the reliability. So in the reliability, we want to ensure that the network will be accessible to user in the long terms. We never know. For example, like us today, we use the WebEx conference for lecturing, and then the administrator need to make sure that this service is available for us until we finish our session. So this is will be like the reliability. Yeah? And then uh, the network management actually is very wide range of the discussion. Yeah, this is not only just like we manage our network in the good standard or something, but the most important thing is we have a several component inside the network management. The first is system and service monitoring. We do that one in the network management. We not only deal about the network itself, but also the system inside the network. Let's say like in our campus, we must think about how semester reliable, available every time that we want to access that one. When UGM decide to use the WebEx platform for delivering online lectures, so lecturing, so we need to ensure the WebEx is always visible for everyone in your place. And then we can see that one is we need to monitor the service all the time. So it will be more easy for us to have the reachability and availability. And then the second is about the resource measurement or monitoring. So we need to have the number that show that our capacity on the resources, especially in the network resources. For example, how much the capacity of our Wi-Fi node in one place and another place, and then we will compare with the user that connected through that Wi-Fi node. If the Wi-Fi node is not available again from the perspective of the resource, so we need to add something in there. So we need to have that information in the network management. The second is about the performance monitoring. Yeah, this is like something like up and down performance in the network. When we have a lot of user, we can see that that the traffic will be full, and then sometimes will be like a traffic jam and something. So we need to monitor it. What period that it will be in the peak session of the traffic, which one is very free session of the traffic, and etc. So that's why we using that one, the performance monitoring in the network management. And then we also do some analytics in the network management. Yeah, we do some statistic things, measuring or accounting to about the performance. So hopefully we can have a good number of the performance. Yeah? And then fault management, it is about how the network management can help us as network administration to detect the intrusions. Yeah, it can be some like fault detection, that maybe our resource node, or maybe our server, our resource, our routers have fault activity. have troubleshooting and tracking about the problem. So that's why in network management we use some ticketing system, help desk to ensure that one. And then of course, because the network itself is always adaptive or maybe changed because of several situations, so we need to change management and configuration monitoring. So we try to avoid that when the network landscape or network architecture change, it's not impact the network into the fault, or maybe it can be not work well. So we need to have the change management on it. Yeah. So that's in the network management. So when we discuss about the network management, it's not only just routing things, but we need to cover up issue about the system service monitoring, resource measurement monitoring, performance monitoring, statistic, fault management, until the change management. So when we do the network management, actually we deal with something something that we need to address in the first time. The first is we always talk about a service level agreement. So in the network things, or in the computer network, we cannot give the 100% guarantee that network will be work well. Yeah. So we have a lot of assumption about that will be impact on the performance. For example, the number of users that connect to our resource, it will be one issue, and another issue is about our capacity, for example. So that's why we need to have the service level agreement. So this is like like agreement between network provider with the user, that the network provider will keep up will try to maintain the quality of service into several number of points, for example 80% or 95%, and we let the rest of percentage into for example for anticipate the error, the fault, and so on. So the SLA itself will be depend on the policy, yeah, in the policy of the network management that maintained by organization. So it will be the question will be used for the management. For example, what does your management expect? What do your user expect? Customer expect? And the internet expect itself. Yeah. And then the important one is your network will be live every second or every day, every years, and so on. So we will have a 24/7 issue on it. Yeah, it will be 100% uptime or no, because yeah, we realize that the network itself sometimes need time to restart, to maintain, and so on. So we need to have the space for network to do that one. And then, okay, yeah, will be the main issue on the network management. It's about the uptime. Yeah, when we state, for example, 99.9% uptime, it's mean we only have 45 minutes of downtime a month in every month. So we need to assess that one. It is appropriate for us as network administrator to have 45 minutes for recover when our resource have a problem. So that will be the first question. Yeah. How if we do some, for example, we need to shut down 1 hour per week, so the SLA will be taken by 99.5%, and of course it will be adjusted with assumption. So that will be our issue. Yeah. So how, when, and in what point that we will select our SLE or our uptime. It will be very important into the network management. So yeah, this will be our issue. Yeah. And then so that's why for discuss about the performance of the network that we want to maintain in the stable condition, in the good performance, we need to have a baseline. Yeah, we need to have the baseline. What is your network baseline that you need to measure or monitor? Yeah, the issue is about load on links. Yeah, we need to identify our user behavior is like access a lot of links, a lot of website, for example. So when we do that one, we need to assess every website that they access. It will be generate a load that maybe the load itself will be depend on the content of the website, and then we need to calculate with our resource on the network. If the network is capable to do that one, so that's why it will be fine. Yeah, just like us in UGM, the UGM realized that the user of the UGM internet is very diverse. So that's why that will be the main reason that why the university make agreement with the main vendor, the main provider of internet, which is Telkom, for example, with the huge load of bandwidth. So because we need to accommodate all the need of the users, and if we have a very diverse user, yeah, it will be make a diverse load of course. And then we have also the jitter between the endpoint. Hopefully the jitter term is already explained in the previous class before the mid-sem. This is like the time scale of when we try to reach some endpoint, and we need to have several time to do that one, so that we become the jitter. So we need to have the jitter in the normal and then in the measure number. So it will be very important to have the good quality of jitters. And then percent usage of resources, it will be a very important too. So for example, when we have a router, what is the percentage of the usage of the router that want to route every access from the user. And then percentage usage of the CPU usage, for example, that's a server that manage your request, for example. And we still have a devil in the network that we call noise. Yeah, so we need to have a active network management activity to capture the noise, yeah, using the network scan. Yeah, because sometimes noise is not occur in the first time, but it will be occur in the middle of the traffic. So we need to have take a look, very important. And then we need to identify the drop data that may be happen in our network also. Sometimes it's become of the one IP address not active, and then the router that connected into one local area network is also have a problem, maybe because of the huge traffic that make some router cannot respond, and so on. So that will be very important to us to see the drop data. And then the reported error or failures that maybe occurs. Yeah, sometimes maybe we can depend on the in the network, but unfortunately sometimes we have issue also in the when we have a device, and unfortunately our electricity supply doesn't stable, so it will be make our network also have problems. So that we need to have the reported error or failure. So for example, when in one day, for example, in MIPA, for example, the fifth floor has no connection, but the rest of the floor is have the connection. So maybe the problem is because of the switch in the on the router in the fifth floor have a problem in the power supply, and so on. So we need to have that report. Yeah, so that will be the issue of the network management too. So the work of the network management is very complex and very challenging. We need to do something. Yeah, for example, this is the several question that we need to take a look every time when we do a network management. The first question is know when to upgrade the network resources. Yeah, for example, we have a question: your bandwidth usage too high. So what happened? So we need to take a look the network monitoring, internet network monitoring to do that one. Where is your traffic going? And so when like us in UGM, and the user of UGM is mostly access in go to the what website, for example, what resources in the internet, and so on. And do you need to get a faster line or more providers, for example? And then is the equipment too old, for example? It would be our question to do some upgrade in the network management. And then this is very important thing, keep an audit trace of change. Yeah. So in the network management, we need to record all change. Even this is happen in the architecture and topology, we also need to track a change or to keep the change in the IP address and etc. Why? This is very important because it will make it easier to find cause of problem when we do the upgrade and configuration change. So we need to take a look at that one. Yeah. And then keep a history of your network operations. Yeah, so we need uh, to defend ourselves and verify what happened in the network operation. So it's very important to us to keep a history of your network operations. Yeah, so you can imagine that one, the network management side is like the big data part of the network, computer network. Yeah, because we collect all the history in the traffic and network operation and so on. Okay. And then we also have to accounting. Yeah, accounting is track usage of resources. So we need to take a look the usage of the resources. And then yeah, sometimes we do the bill customer according to the usage. Yeah, like Amazon Web Services. Yeah, they do this approach. Yeah, when we access the AWS services, for example, they will send invoice to us based on our usage on the resources. Yeah, and then know when you have a problem. Yeah, so you need to stay ahead of your users, and then monitoring software can generate ticket and automatically notify staff and of issue. This is for very speed issue on the network error handling. Yeah, so we need to take a look at trend. It's like analytics. Yeah, all of the information can be used to view trend across your network. Yeah, and then capacity planning and attack detection will be one important thing to handle in the future too. Yeah, and then yeah, this is also we have the issue. Yeah, attack detection in the network management. We also deal about the always to update based on the traffic activity about the trend, and automation allow you to know when you are under attack or not. Yeah, so when we have that problem, we will be very easy for us to capture and update the situation as fast as possible. Because if we not do that one, I'm afraid that we too late to respond about the problem, and then what happened next is we will lose a lot of resource in the our network. So the attack detection will be provided by tool that can help us to mitigate the attacks. Yeah, for example, to flows across network interfaces, load on specific server and services, and multiple service failures. So we will have that all that information. Then when we have that all information, we will more easy for us to see what that we are under attack or not actually. And then this is the important one is consolidating the data. For example, if we have the network operation center, or we call the NOC, it is very easy for us to coordinate all the tasks. Yeah, status of the network and services. Yeah, and then fielding of network related incident and complaints. Yeah, and also the documentation. Yeah, so we will provide the network diagram, and then flat file or database file of each port on each switch. Yeah, network description and a lot of things. Yeah, so it will be in the network management. We know we very familiar with the like network operation center, yeah, or NOC. I will give you some example how the network management or network monitoring implemented in our university, for example. Yeah, let's see. Just wait. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not exist anymore, I think. Yeah, unfortunately, I only have this information. Yeah, this is the so this is uh, the example how the network management implementation. So actually, this image, this is from the DSSDE. They already implement the tools that can capture all the main node on in the campus, and then they can take a look and monitor all activities in the traffics. So yeah, this is would be like the information. Actually, we can access maybe this one, the mon UKMIC ID, but unfortunately, if we do in the outside the campus, it cannot be work. But if we on in the campus, you can access the mon UKMIC ID. You will have this image. Yeah, so that would be very important for you to see that one. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of the implementation actually, but it's okay. We can continue. Okay, and then this is the big picture how actually the network operation control or network management is work. Yeah, so we do some uh, capacity planning and availability, and then trend and detect problem based on this is the providing by the NOC tools, which we build the capacity planning, availability, trend, and detect problem to fix the problems. And after we have the problem in the we has done the fixed problem in the network, we can improve and upgrade. Yeah, and then we can change if we necessary, and then we monitor, and then all that one will be provided by the ticket from the network operation control tools. Yeah, that will be give the notification to the staff that work on the network management things. Yeah. So in the network, we a lot of open source solution to the network management. Yeah, this is from the performance side. We can use the Cricket, IFP, FM, FlowC, MRTG. This is the MRTG, the famous one, NetFlow and FSEN, smoke ping, and so on. Yeah, and then we also have the change management using the Mercurial, range ID, RCS, Subversion. Yeah, and then we have also the security tools like Nessus, OSEX, Prelude, Snort. Snort is the most famous one. And also the net management is network management is like Big Brother, Negius, NetDisco, OpenNMS, Sysmon, and Zedix. Yeah, a lot of things. Today, Apache also have the tools like the Apache Metron that use the network management to that one. Yeah. So this is a lot of things. So actually, when we want to study or maybe to learn about how the network management works, we can use this kind of the open source solution. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Go to the next slide. Before it, I will open the discussion. If you have any question about the concept, I will give you some time, some space to have the question. Please, if you have question, you can use the chat, or maybe you can